everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thanks so much for joining me. Well, I have a 5 easy step card to share with you, and we're talking easy. We're using some items from a collection from Rosie's studio over at Spellbinders. We're going to use some designer papers. We're going to be using some stickers, an ephemera kind of a way. And then we're also going to be using some chipboard frames. So pretty easy and quick card today. We're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. First off, we're going to pick out a sticker. Now these stickers are special. Let me put this to the side. These stickers are special because when you remove the release paper, at first I thought they were ephemera, but they're stickers. These are really neat stickers. They're on the larger side, so they make great focal points. I'm not going to use any florals today. I was kind of in a leafy mood, so we're just going to use a leaf. But I'm going to leave the backing on them. It has a white backing, but I wanted to share with you that these have, they're clear. Look at it. Clear stickers. Not actually completely see-through. It looks like vellum is behind them. But let me stick one on some cardstock just so you can see. I'm going to put it over here so I don't waste it. But if you add it to white cardstock, it kind of reminds me of vellum. You can kind of see the outline. It's not completely clear, but it's almost like a matte outline. You can kind of see it. But they're really neat stickers. I thought they were so pretty. Same goes with this one that's black and white. You can see its outline is almost like a vellum. So I thought we would just use one of the leaf elements in here. And I'm thinking this is all we're going to use for our focal point. And again, I'm going to leave the backing on it because I like the white on the back side. Okay, so this is quick and easy. Step 1 is a sticker. I'm going to put this to the side. We're going to move on to step 2, which is our home panel. And that's where our chipboard frames come in. Let's grab those. We're going to be using this chipboard frame. And again, this one is a sticker too. These frames are really easy to turn into shakers. There's ovals, and let me show you. There's a buffet of frames in here. There's even some corner brackets. But to create a shaker, it would take no time at all. You just punch them out, add some adhesive behind here, and an acetate, and you have an instant frame. We can't get any easier than chipboard frames. But I'm going to be using this little, this piece here. It does have a print on here that says love this, but I'm going to make a birthday card, so we'll probably cover that. So this will be my focal point. I did take a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to remove the release paper off of the back of this, and I'm just going to add some white cardstock behind here. And that will be my home panel. I'm going to go ahead and take my focal point, and I'm going to drape it across this piece. We have a little bit of dimension with the chipboard, so it does look kind of like it's kind of floating over the middle section. So that's all there is to that. Now we're going to move on to step 3, which is our greeting. You can see this one here has love this, but I'm going to replace it with happy birthday. So I went through my stamp sets, and I'm going to be using the Stay Saucy stamp set from Spellbinders. This was meant to go with the like ravioli and the spaghetti collection that Spellbinders came out with, but there was a happy birthday in here that I thought was just perfect. It's down here on the bottom. I'm going to use my Memento ink because it dries really fast, and I'm just going to stamp this on some white cardstock. I didn't want a really large birthday greeting, but I think this is going to work out great. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and trim this down and block it off. Here's my greeting, and I'm going to replace this over the love this. I'm actually going to we're just going to, I went ahead and put foam tape behind my happy birthday, and I'm going to replace it, layering it right over the love this, turning it into a birthday card. That's all there is to my greeting. Step 4 is our background, and we're bringing in our pattern paper from our breakfast in bed. There are 40 sheets in here, 20 designs, so there's 2 of each design, and they are single-sided. We're going to do a little bit of layering for our background with our pattern papers. Okay, I have, this is a 2.5 inch wide strip of pattern paper by 5.5 inches, and I have a 1 inch tall strip of this pattern paper, and it's the same width, 2.5 inches. I'm just going to add some glue behind here, and I'm going to tack, oops, and I'm going to tack this. Let's use our measurements here. I'm going to tack this 1.25 inches up from the bottom. Then this strip is a 3/4 inch wide strip, and I fishtailed the bottom. We're going to trim a little bit off the top. This is eventually going to go here, but I think I want a border. So let me go through my borders. Okay, I also have a piece of white cardstock where I'm going to create a border using my ribbon and trim dies. I'm going to cut out some, this looks almost like rickrack. It's a wavy line. I'm going to cut this out. I'll be right back. So now we have, I think this is going to make a great border to cover this seam here. I'm not going to worry about this seam, but I am going to worry about the bottom one. Okay, now I'm going to create a white background, but I want a little bit of texture on it. So I'm going to bring in a stencil. This stencil is from Hero Arts. It's called the Large Sprinkled Dots stencil. And if you have a polka dot embossing folder, any kind of circle embossing folder, I think would go really good on this card. But I'm going to emboss the stencil today. So I'm going to take some white cardstock, just a white A2 panel. Let me go ahead and bring in my die cutting machine. My well-loved die cutting machine. Okay, and then I have the rubber mat that's number E. I'm going to put this in here. Add my cardstock. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my stencil. And then I'm going to add my top plate, which is the D adapter plate. And all I'm going to do is run this through. And then we have some very subtle but noticeable polka dots on our white cardstock. And that's what I was going for, subtle. When we have different styles of print, subtle is always nice. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down to the front of my card base. Once this is glued down, I'm going to take my pattern paper. We'll add some glue behind here. I'm going to add this about 1/2 inch from the right. Wonderful. And then I'm going to take my border strip. I'm going to go straight across here. Okay, and then I'm going to take this strip that, again, I fishtailed the bottom of this. And then I'm going to layer this here. We're going to trim all the sides off. And that will be my background. So far, pretty easy peasy. Kind of looks quilted a little bit with the print and then the rickrack. I'm going to go ahead and take my home panel. Now this home panel, I'm just going to add glue behind. And then we're going to layer this just above the yellow pattern paper. Now we're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. I'm going to bring in some Lawn Fawn trimmings. This is white twine, white hemp twine. It's my favorite. I think it's your guys' favorite too, because it's sold out a lot of places, but I sure love it. I love the thickness and I love how it holds its shape. But I'm just going to tie a bow with it. And I put a glue dot behind it, and I'm going to add this at the bottom of my leaf image. I think that looks cute. I love the bright colors of pattern papers. Okay, then I'm also going to bring in some Spellbinders Color Essential Gems. This is Spectrum AB, and we're just going to add a few gems on our card here. Some of the smaller ones. As I'm looking at this, I'm going to bring in my corner rounder, and I'm going to round this bottom corner here. We'll round this off. And that finishes my card project today. Pretty quick and easy, and I think the colors are just wonderful, perfect for spring, and I think it makes a great birthday card. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.